What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Yet again, today I am back streaming. What am I doing today? I am working on FocusBot. There is a nasty, nasty bug that needs to be solved. It needs to be rectified. It needs to be figured out. And today we're going to try to do just that. Now, I do notice that there's something messed up where I don't know where I was going with this. Anyway, Moosieus will probably be here at some point. He was supposed to be here, but, he's not. So maybe he'll show up. I don't know. We'll see. That might be fun. That could be something. I don't know where he's at, though. Moosieus is not around. But we'll figure this bad boy out at some point. Anyway, with that out of the way, it's time to get into the old stream. What's going on, everyone? It is I, Nate, yet again with the FocusBot in here. Now, that would be something easy to fix. I have WageBot internal references that need to be changed to FocusBot. And that's not even too bad. VI, just need to open up go.mod, change it from WageBot to FocusBot, and then in main.go, change all of those. FocusBot, 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 FocusBot. And then just check through these dependencies. db.go, that doesn't bring anything. SQLite.go, that needs it. Boom. We got FocusBot in there. Loggeroonie needs to be changed to FocusBot, except it doesn't have anything. Discord internal /discord/discord.go. Need to change that to FocusBot. There we go. Then we need to change internal /models/models.go. That doesn't need anything. Internal /guild/guild.go. There we go, and there we go. So now, all right, so we have a couple of instances of wage cage. We'll just change that to focus cage. Focus cage. So what is the problem we're dealing with? Well, if I open up a new tab, terminal, SSH into, what is it? Root at, it's in here someplace. This one. This is the old Focus server. Oops. And I run Docker compose logs. You will see logs. You'll see a whole lot of logs of a whole lot of nonsense. However, at some point the server stops working. Now, part of this is a lot of these logs are Discord Go logs that need to be filtered out, and we need to get the logs from the actual service. That's one of the problems. FocusBot will run for a while, and then it will get caught up somewhere. So we've got it narrowed down to somewhere in this set off server processing. It hangs. So then this for loop can never re-loop. So it stops receiving voice state updates, which trigger the mechanism to reset to set up all the stuff in the server and change all the things and do all of the stuff. This is a bad explanation, but yeah. So that's about that. So the easiest thing to do right now is going to be really quickly to say, once we've received the voice state update, instead of calling, we'll call get server in the right place, but we'll do a go we'll call go server.get server in the right place, and then we're going to do an anonymous function. We'll say go func, and I swear this will make sense in a second. Get server in the right place. And then we will say done, and then we'll send on this channel. So on done, we will send a empty struct. Oops. And you're saying, what's this done? Who cares? What are you talking about? Well, done is going to be a chan of struct. And then we call the function. Now we don't have enough arguments. We'll say done. And then what we'll do is we'll say done : equals make chan struct. And you're saying, well, how does this help? This looks like it's a whole bunch of nonsense. Well, you just wait. What we can do is we can have a timeout where we can say time dot until no. I forget what the timeout thing is. Channel write timeout thing. There's something here. I swear there's going to be something. Write on channel after a certain amount of time going. Time dot after. That's what it is. So we want time dot after. Time dot after. Let's do 10 times time dot second. And then we will just import time. So this isn't mad at me. And what time dot after does is it returns a channel that returns a time dot time. So what we can do is we can do a let's see, a select statement. Where we select based on which channel is read from. So we can say have time dot after 10 seconds or the done channel. So you say case time dot after 10 seconds. Then we can just, continue. Or done, we just continue. Select case must be send or receive. Oh. Need to say that we are receiving. Same thing with the done channel. Lero_Rod, is your blog still a GitHub repository? Absolutely. I have a project to make it not a GitHub repository. I would like to publish it also on the Playdate video game console. I think this will really help the accessibility, make it a lot more open to a lot more people. But at present moment, it is still just a GitHub repository. But if you get one of these, eventually you'll be able to crank all the way through the blog. You can use the crank to scroll up, scroll down. I got to finish writing a markdown parser in C with Lucky, but I don't quite have that yet. But soon. This will be soon enough. Rod, you're insane, and I love that. I don't know that I'm that insane. I'm just trying to bring my blog posts to the masses. I think all sorts of people have this. I think there's over hundreds of people that have one of these, and I want them to be able to read my blog in a native and natural way that most people read blogs. I assume most people read blogs on these. I don't really pay attention to how most people do things. And if that isn't good enough, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build an Electron app that takes 20 gigs of RAM to read the blog as well. So you can look at it on GitHub. You can look at it on the play.date. And eventually I'll have a native application that is perfect for reading my blog. And by native, I mean native, the same way all the other Electron applications are native. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be perfect, and we're all going to love it. So anyway, now that we have this done, so this way, what's going to happen is, and I don't actually need this continue. I can just do this. I think it's a little cleaner, I guess. So with this way, if the server doesn't work out, then it will it'll just continue and keep looping through. So hopefully that solves our immediate problem. Now we have a couple of other problems to get through. And hold on a second. I will just do a real quick git status, git add -a, git commit -m. What did I do? I changed remaining WageBot references to FocusBot and added timeout on get server state in the right place calls. So I did that. Let's git push directly to main, origin main. So that should get this, keep the server up and running. It might be a little bit janky for a little while, but it'll be fine. But the next thing to do is fix all these logs. So there's a bunch of logs because I manually went and set the debug logging in Discord Go. Internal / discord / discord.go. So we set the log to debug in our own logging package, and then we set the Discord Go log level to debug. However, I've been told that there's something funky about this, and it doesn't exactly work the way you would want it to. So we need to figure that out and get our logging straight again. In the meantime, let's go ahead and make sure that that GitHub action built and is running. So let's go to github.com/npmail/focusbot. Go to actions, and it didn't work. Oh, why didn't it work? It's mad at me. Image does not live locally. Main.go did not complete successfully. Oh. Well, I gotta figure that out. Maybe I didn't check to make sure it built first. Go build main.go. No required module pack. I missed one. db/db/db.go. Aha, I missed one. FocusBot. There we go. I shouldn't have to add it. Oh. Internal /db/SQLite.go. You see I missed another one. There we go. So now we got FocusBot. Now main.go builds. I think. It's taking a little bit. That's generally a good sign. So the FocusBot is building, and as soon as it builds, all right, I really don't know what's taking it so long. It shouldn't have taken this long. There we go. So now we'll git add -a, oopsie, and then we'll git add -a, git commit -m, oopsie, git push origin main. So now this should work, and we can watch it build over in the web browser. So let's go back up to actions. There's a new push. Trey159 says you should get set a sub goal to switch to Rose Pine. That sub goal would have to put me above whoever the top streamer is, and I'd have to be making millions on this before I'd ever switch to such a useless color scheme. I mean, what's even the point? Rose Pine. I mean, ugh. That's just sickening. That's gross. I have all the color schemes I need anyway. I have Colo Blue. Beautiful. Perfect color scheme. I have Colo Shine. Oh, this is great. This is in case you ever want to like blow someone's eyeballs out, Works perfectly. And then I have Colo Tokyo Night dash day. Sometimes I'll use that, very rarely. But and then I have the real one, Colo Tokyo Night dash storm. Now this is a color scheme. I mean, this is beautiful. I don't know what else to say. It's the perfect color scheme, Tokyo Night Storm. It's perfect in every way. Actually, it didn't apply properly. Unless I've not been using Tokyo Night Storm the entire time and I have it wrong. Trey 159. I think I'm going to use Rose Pine only because you dislike it. I mean, if that's your prerogative, if you're willing to let me live rent-free in your head like that, that's fine. In fact, I encourage it. If you could do me a favor, I really dislike it when people go on my YouTube and drive engagement by posting mean comments on my YouTube videos. If you could do that, that would really help me. I mean, hurt me. I wouldn't like that. I really don't like it when people like, comment, and subscribe. Let's see. The Primogen uses Rose Pine. It must be good. You know, this is the thing. A fixed clock is broken twice a day. So that's what's going on with Primogen if he uses Rose Pine. He's got some problems. He solved most of them, but Rose Pine is just one of the few last remaining problems he's got. And, I don't feel the need to... he's otherwise he's doing all right, but the Rose Pine thing, that's really the reason the Primogen isn't as big as, Mr. Beast. He's using Rose Pine. There we go. So FocusBot should be up and running. We'll just go into my Discord and do a real quick impromptu test. Let's make sure. There we go. So there's a new focus room. 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 And when you check everyone's roles, Focus King 1, Focus King 2, Focus King 3, Focus King 4. Then when you move everyone back into Hangout. Whoa! Somebody followed. Artursk92 followed. Appreciate the follow, Artursk92. We move everyone back. The rooms disappear. I still have Focus King 4. They've lost their Focus King roles. So that's great. So we need to just keep... Well, we're just going to have to wait to see if it breaks again. It probably will at some point, but we'll see. Anyway, welcome to the chat, Artursk92. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the follow, man. So I think we've solved the problem, though we may have a new problem because what's happened is if I go back into internal/server /guild/guild.go, what I'm afraid of happening is in this massive function that I have up here. I should probably split this up into multiple packages, but multiple files at least, if not multiple packages. Hold on. Maybe I can find an NVIM theme that looks like VS Code default theme. I don't know why you're still stuck on this VS Code thing. I thought we beat that out of you. But if you want to find a NeoVim theme that looks like VS Code default theme, we can stop being friends. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I lose all sorts of friends all the time for all sorts of reasons. Zero Douglas says, use Emacs. That's a programming language that comes with a default program as a toy editor. NVim sucks for Kusto. What is Kusto? Is Kusto a thing? I've never heard of Kusto. Kusto query language. KQL overview. What? Why would you run this? Ugh. I did set up an LSP for TypeScript, though. Well, that's fantastic. Let's see. Kusto language server. Why don't you just use this? Kusto language server. This works just fine, I think. Supports built-ins out of the box. You can load symbols to get IntelliSense for the tables and functions on your cluster. Trey, what are you doing? Clearly it works. I mean, all you gotta do is npm install it and run it, and then you're done. That's it. Mason didn't have it, therefore it doesn't exist. Fair enough. It's been a long time since I've installed language servers without Mason. I can barely remember how I did it. Now, I may recall a long time ago, on my GitHub, you might be able to see how it works. Just got to go 1,000 commits back before I set to, let's see. Where is it? Plug to lazy, changes for sway. I think it happened probably around here somewhere. So if we just go in and browse files, neovim.config invim lua lsp.lua. Yeah, this is that. The old-fashioned, I don't know where I'm going with this. Lua config. No, but all you got to do is add a block that looks like one of these. This require lsp configuration dot or lsp config, and then do the old custo dot setup, and then it's super easy. Super easy. Assuming the invim-lsp config supports custo. Let's check that out. Invim lsp config. Let's see. Please have custo. Please have custo. Please have custo. Where's the list? There's a list. Oh, here it is. A B C D E F G H I J K Kotlin. All right, you're screwed on the custo thing. I'm sorry, Trey. You're never going to be able to have. You're never going to be able to have LSP for custo. Cope, seethe, cry about it, get owned. Microsoft nerd, got them. Join the Linux side where we have all the tools for all the stuff we use. It's a shame. I guess Microsoft really doesn't care about open source. There's customize.invim, according to Zero Douglas. This isn't working. GitHub.com, and then I'll just search for customize. Customize.invim. Is that Custo? No, this is Customize. This is totally different. Anyway, Trey says it works in VS Code. Yesterday I was coding in VS Code. I was doing some React, the way that React wants you to do it. And one of the first things they said is install VS Code. So I said, okay, I'll install VS Code. Anyway, long story short, it was awful, and it was made almost tolerable by the Vim plugin. But you couldn't do neat stuff like, I don't know, vertical split. Actually, you probably could. Horizontal split. I don't know if you could do that either. Maybe, I bet it doesn't have, I'm trying to think of a really good command that VS Code doesn't have. Set virtual edit to all, where you can just freestyle your cursor around. Look at this. My cursor's all the way over here. I'm typing all the way on the right side of the, oh, well, now it's gone. I'm typing all the way over here. I bet the VS Code Vim extension doesn't do that. Also, I don't remember how to get out of virtual edit mode, so I'm just going to have to close out of Vim real quick. Anyway, what did I change? Oh. Git restore dot. Anyway, Trey, great feature. You say I can read the sarcasm in your text right now, but think of it this way. Let's say I have a program, and I want to make the first thing it does be to print out some ASCII art. So let's say fmt.print line some ASCII art. Nope. Nope. Don't have FMT. Let's say I want to print out some ASCII art, right? How am I supposed to print out, how am I supposed to make like something all the way over here? I have to hit space 1,000 times and have 1,000 spaces. And then what if I want to edit something? All I got to do, set virtual edit equals all. Now I can draw my ASCII art free without any bounds on what I can do. Hit capital R, I can do like, I don't know, a character. I can do other characters. Look at this. I got an unimpressed face. This is the face you make when after you've used VS Code. I don't know. Maybe it's not that useful. No, I take it back. It is that useful. Great feature by pasting it in like a normal. What are you stealing art? Pasting it in. How dare you? You know, I thought Microsoft loved open source, and yet the one Microsoft employee I know is willing to paste in ASCII art instead of freestyling it on his own. Now, I'm not going to say my ASCII art's the most beautiful around. In fact, I'd say it's probably the least beautiful around. But still, Microsoft invented LSPs. You're welcome. Were you even working on the LSP project? I didn't think so. Yeah. Also, Google invented the Go programming language. That doesn't mean Google is the greatest corporation in the universe. Of course not. Exactly. What was I doing? I am so off track here. Trey, I don't know why I'm talking so much shit. You know. I mean, Kusto is an inferior language, and Microsoft is an inferior corporation. But aside from those things, I don't know why I'm talking so much shit. I can't even remember what I was doing. I'm just going to open up Vim again. Internal / Discord/discord.go. So I need to figure out how to set the Discord Go levels for like logging and stuff. I think. Ooh, it's just an int. This is going to be annoying. I think what I need to do is. This is going to be difficult. I need to figure out what's going on. First of all, I need to figure out what's going on with the Discord Go logging. So I'm just going to open up another window here and go to Discord Go and just kind of figure out what it is they're doing with logging. So they have these event handlers. There's logging.go. Log levels, warning, informational debug. That's all fine. So they have the logger. Takes an MSGL, caller int, string, a function. Log can be used to replace a standard logging for Discord Go. So I guess I can just pass in one of these bad boys, a Discord Go.logger. I need to figure out what all these things are, though. MSG log provides a wide logging consistency for Discord Go. Format a ... portion of this command follows that of a printf msgll. Okay, so that makes sense. So a printf message. So what is this MSGL? Log level. Caller one plus the number of callers away from the message source. Format. A comma separated list of values to pass. Okay, so what I need to do is make one of these and then pass it in so that it is in line with everything else. So this logger is a function that does all these things. So we'll just copy that. Oops. Copy that. And then, oh, this is... There we go. So we'll just make a function that returns one of these. Yeah, we'll just make a function that returns one of these in the Logaroonie package. So we'll say Discord logger is that function. Something I need to say func Discord logger is that function, and then what we'll do is, so the MSGL is going to be the level, which is an int. Oh, I see. They got fancy here. They said MSGL and caller are both ints, so we're gonna skip throwing on int there. That's a little too cool for my blood. I think that's a little bit more reasonable. I think that's a little bit more rational. You know, I am wearing glasses. I don't want to be so cool that I'm forgetting to that I'm not putting in the types of the arguments for this function. So then the easy thing to do is to say switch MSGL case discord go dot, and I need to import discord go, github.com/bwmarin/discord go, discord go dot log debug. We can do something, and then we'll do case discord go dot log error. We'll do something, and we'll do case discord go dot log informational. I don't know why that had to spell out all of informational. And I'm an absolute idiot. I put the colons in the wrong place. There we go. So if it's a debug log, we will just call debug f, and then the format comma a. If it's an error, we'll say error f format comma a. And if it's an information, we'll say info f format comma a. What is it complaining about? Missing a dot dot dot. All right. There we go. So now we should have that. So now the log should be fixed. Caller int, I honestly don't care. There we go. So now, what else do we need to do? Oh, I need to go into internal /discord dot go, and then I need to say that go to log debug. So I need to say dg dot logger. Am I doing this wrong? How do you set the logger? It said there was a way to set the logger, and yet discord go dot logger. Oh, you know what? It's not dg. It's discord go dot logger equals Logaroonie dot discord logger. There we go. So now our logs should all be the way we want them to be. So Discord Go won't be eating up all our logs anymore. We won't be eating their logs. Our log level settings should work. So let's get status. That looks about right. Git add -a, git commit -m. Force Discord Go to use our Logaroonie logger. That's fantastic. Git push origin main. Let's go. I did get like a... I mean, I have one of these. Let's go! All right, that one isn't very good. What about let's go? I don't know. Let's go. I don't know. Honestly, I gotta be real with you guys. I'm killing time until this CI build is over because not a whole lot to do. Not a whole lot to do. If somebody else would like to get into an argument with me in the chat, that would be helpful. That's good content. Otherwise, I'm just waiting for GitHub Actions to complete. Not much interesting happening when it just says go build or run go build LD flags, ext LD flags, static main.go. Kind of boring. I don't even know why I have the LD flags and ext LD flags. I'm not using any Cgo stuff, so why wouldn't it build static? I'm sure it wouldn't for some reason. Oh, actually, it won't build static anyway. Still requires shared libraries from glibc and stuff. Oh, that's right, because I'm using that one thing, SQLite. There we go. So that's done. So now let's SSH in there and Docker compose logs. What do we got? Got a bunch of stuff. Look at that. I don't know what this is about. First packet. Oh, we're getting raw JSON. That is horrifying. This makes me sad to look at. I don't like this. But anyway, if I do Docker compose logs -f. Whoa, hold on a second. Cloudsy Dev rating with a party of 60. Bro! This place is going insane. All right, Cloudsy Dev, I appreciate you. I thank you. I'm in your debt. I mean, this is wild. Cloudsy Dev, good luck fixing your project. Thank you, Cloudsy. I appreciate it. So anyway, now that we have hopefully fixed it, I'm just going to go into the Discord and really stress test this bot. So if you're watching live in the Discord, sorry. So it seems to be coming along. It seems to be working all right. Let's check all the let's see. Focus King, and then when I remove people and throw them back into the Hangout chat where they were before, it removes the channels, keeping one empty channel at all times. Then I go back in here and the channel is gone, it's empty, and we're back, and I no longer have the role and nobody has their Focus King roles anymore. This seems to be working okay, except for the fact that the logs are all messed up. What happened to my logs? My logs are all broken. Log info MSG called. Connecting Discord. Creating new voice connections map. Okay, so this is a bunch of stuff coming in from Discord Go. But where are my own logs? Maybe I have the logging level set wrong. I don't remember what I had with the logging level. Let's open up docker compose.yaml and environment config path. What was I doing with the logging level? I thought I was doing something interesting with the logging level. Turns out I was not. So anyway, Cloudsy Dev Raiders, I just want to give you some background on this project. Basically what this is a bot that I have in my NateStream Discord server. By the way, great Discord server. You should definitely join it. And what it does is it makes sure there's an area called focus rooms. Now what these focus rooms are places where you can go to hang out and focus on something. If you're playing a game, if you're working on some software, if you're having a really deep discussion, you don't want other people bothering you. And you also don't want to bother the people in the Hangout chat who are just trying to have like an idle, nice conversation. Keeps the conversations from overlapping. So what I've done is I've written a bot that whenever you join a room, one of the special focus rooms, it creates another room. And it gives you the power through a role that's designated for that room to kick out anyone from that room. It doesn't let you screw with people in the other rooms, but lets you manage your own little room. And there's always one empty one. So if 10 people join their own, then there'll be an 11th room just waiting. Always lets you join your own room. So you can do whatever you want, and you can enforce that you do whatever you want by kicking out people who don't want to do whatever it is that you want to do in there. Now, the problem is the Discord API is a fickle beast, and no, I don't have another thing. Discord API is a fickle beast, so the app has been a little bit unreliable. It'll run just fine for 20, 30 minutes, and then it would fail. So we added a ton of logging, and then we discovered that the Discord Go package for it is a little funky in a few different ways. So I'm trying to get better logs and trying to get a little bit better stuff going on to make it work properly. So the first thing to do is I'm going to open up back up Vim, by the way, NeoVim, best editor. Just going to open up main.go. And I want to check out where I'm going to try to turn on debug logs. And I forgot how I did that earlier. So let's see if it's in pkg/loggeroonie. That's the go log/slog wrapper that we wrote for this project called loggeroonie. So it should be checking log_level. If it's empty or if it's set to info, then we're set to log info. So we'll try debug here. So let's SSH back into that machine. There we go. Don't know why I had to update OMyZSH, but there we go. And let's open up Docker compose YAML, and we'll do another one. We'll call it log_level. I think that's what it was. And we'll say debug and see if we can get some good debug logging. And I did that wrong. That was a mistake. I should not have done that way. SSH back in, Docker compose YAML, screwed that up. Changing a read-only file. Oh no, classic Vim blunder. Let's try this again. We want to delete that other file. There we go. Log level equals debug. And then we will Docker compose up, pull always, force recreate, in daemon mode. Fantastic. Docker compose logs. Now this is more like it. We are absolutely going crazy with the logs. Love to see it. So let's move everyone around a little bit, see what's going on. And I didn't run logs with the follow, which is kind of necessary if I'm going to be moving stuff around. There we go. So we're getting all sorts of good logs, and we're getting great. And Discord Go is talking about it, and all this stuff is good. Now that is fantastic. So I'm going to drag everyone back into the Hangout chat. And I'm sure they're getting quite angry with me. This is the fourth time I've done this, but you know, sometimes that's the risk of being in the chat. Anyway, got guild value false. Okay, true. Yeah, so a lot of these are Discord logs, and a lot of these are my own logs. I'm going to add in one other thing, and I'm probably not even going to test it because who really cares? But I'm going to add in, first of all, I'm going to change the log level back to info. And then I'm going to go back in, pkg/log/log.go. I'm going to make it so that the Discord logs are all prefixed by saying log from Discord : I think that's going to be important. Not the most beautiful, pretty, elegant way to do this, but it's certainly something that'll make this a little bit easier to deal with. So we got that. Differentiate Discord Go logs from focus bot logs. So that's important. And what's next? So we have one problem with this application, and the problem is if you onboard it to another server, it has no way of dealing with that. And the reason that is because the Discord API, let's go to the Discord API docs real quick. Discord API docs, the Discord API only sends a server create, I think. There's a message that it sends over the WebSocket API when a server is created. I think it's called guild create event. Let's search for it. Guild create resources. Let's see. Guild create guild. I think this is it, maybe? Nope, that's to create a guild. Guild create. You know what? I can find it in the code easier. internal/discord/discord.go. There is, where is it? Voice state update, guild members chunk. It is guild create event. Maybe it's just in gateway events. Guild create. Guild ban, guild create. This is the one. So this thing fires when a user is initially connecting, when a guild becomes available, and when the current user joins a new guild. So during an outage, the guild object in scenarios 1 and 3 may be marked as unavailable. Interesting. So we need to make it so that the server processing is set off when the guild create event happens. So right now, what we're doing is we're checking for a single guild create event, and we have this weirdo mutex that we use to look up guilds. We will probably need to make a new function on this weirdo mutex that keeps all of our guilds in check. We'll call it func m pointer to mtex guilds add guild. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with this caller thing. Look up guild, whatever request, look up locking, look up guild, whatever, guild ID value, v, got v. Not exactly sure. Anyway. So we'll take in a guild, which is a pointer to a guild.guild, and that'll be it. So we'll say m.mtex.lock, m.mtex.unlock, empty critical section. Oh no. Well, first off, we need to do a log. I'm not going to log this. So we'll say m.g, which I believe is a map of strings. I really need to be better at this. At guild dot config dot id equals guild. So then what we're going to do is we're going to have, when the guild create function happens, first thing we'll do is Oh, see, now I'm remembering why this is a hassle. And actually, you know what? Here, real quick, I'm going to, in the chat, I'm going to turn off followers only chat. I know there's a lot of you people in here that aren't from that aren't usually in my stream. I don't want to make you follow just so you can chat. Feel free to chat. Just turn off followers only mode. Now, this is a special occasion. I normally would leave that bad boy on forever. Anyway, so when a new guild is added to the server, we need to do a small handful of things. So first, we need to add the new guild to the database. Second, we need to start processing the guild. All right, I said a few things. It is actually literally only two things. So we add a new guild to the database and then start processing messages for that guild. So the first thing we need to do here is let's see. So the first thing we do, add it to the database. So let's just go into the database package. SQLite backend is the only one that exists right now. And let's see what we have. Actually, let's go into the database main package. So we have a get all server configurations, a get all server get server configuration for one server, get all server configs for multiple servers. And then we need to add a create server config. So add server, and maybe an update server. So we'll say add server, and this will take in a guild config object, and this will turn in error. Nope, I'm not implementing it here. And actually, instead of an add server, we can do an update server. I kind of want to do an upsert. I think that makes more sense. No, we'll just do add server and we'll do an update server. This will take in a guild config and return an error as well. So we need to implement that for the SQLite data store. So get server configuration, get all server configs. We need a function that takes in S, a pointer to SQLite store, and then it will be called add server. Take in a models.guild config and return an error. Let's make this a pointer as well. Actually, won't make a difference. We'll do a func an S pointer to SQLite store, and we'll do update server. Taking a models.guild config and return an error. Oh, I was saying return an error and typed out return. Return an error. Let's give these function bodies that it's going to be mad at. Return nil. Return nil. You can close out of that. So to add a server, what we need to do is write a little bit of SQLite. So we'll say s.storage.exec, and then we'll say insert. Let's do one of these just to match the others. Whoops. So what are we going to do? We're going to insert into, and I forget my SQLite syntax here. SQLite insert command. Insert into table, whatever columns, whatever values. So that'll work. Insert into table. I just said table, didn't I? Table is going to be called servers. And it's going to have ID, channel prefix, role prefix, channel category, values, and the values will be, we'll do a, is it question mark? 4 of them. With the arguments of, and I think you do the SQL and then the args. So then the arguments will be the ID. So we'll say cfg.id, cfg.channel prefix. Oh, need to capitalize that. cfg.channel prefix, cfg.role prefix, and cfg.channel category. So that'll work. And then I believe this returns, what is it? SQL.result and error. Res, comma, error, colon equals that. Then we'll just do a quick if error is not equal to nil, then we will return error, and then we'll probably do a log.info, not info, log.error, f, unable to insert new entry to server, %s, to SQLite data store, comma, error.error. So that's fantastic. Oh, it's logaroonie. So we need to do something with the res. We'll say or res dot rows. Actually, I think it doesn't matter what the result is, because it'll come back as an error if it didn't do it. So and that should add it to the server. Now we will probably want a default guild config. I think that is going to be helpful. Func default guild config, and then this will be a function that takes nothing and then returns a guild config. And then we'll just say return guild config and config. Let's fill this bad boy up. The ID will need to be set later. Actually, you know what? We'll take in the ID as an argument, so you can't accidentally not put in an ID. So we'll say ID string. And then the channel prefix, let's just call it focus room. The role prefix will be focus owner. And the channel category will be empty. So now let's get a default real quick for adding new people to the server, or to the thing. And then back within the SQLite file here, what we can do is in this update server, I could go through and write a new exec statement for each one of these to change any one of the 3 attributes, or spend a lot of time doing it. But I'm just going to say you'll have an ID, and then you can change all 3 at the same time. It'll probably be fine. So what we'll do is we'll update the server. We'll say underscore comma error colon equals s dot storage dot exec. We'll say update. Oh, update, and then it's going to be servers channel prefix role prefix channel category set. I think I'm doing this wrong. Let's look up back to the SQLite docs here. Let's do SQLite update command. Make sure I don't want to screw that up either. Update statement set. Oh, I got to do the column equals thing. I forgot about that. Update servers set channel prefix equals question mark comma role prefix equals question mark comma channel category equals question mark. Let's do that. Update server set channel prefix equals question mark. Let's capitalize these. Oops. All right, update servers, channel prefix, role prefix, channel category equals question mark, where ID equals, let's see, we'll see, CFG, where ID equals question mark. So then we'll say comma CFG dot channel prefix, CFG dot role prefix, CFG dot channel category. Oh, category. There we go. Oh, I missed the fourth one. CFG dot ID. So then we have this error. If error is not equal to nil, and I'll just copy this one over. I'm able to insert new entry. We'll say update entry. So this should be able to work pretty well for this. So that is good. I just want to check one more thing, make sure I did this right. Yep, it is question mark. I know some databases you want to do \01234, but question mark is the correct way of doing this in SQLite. So we have that figured out. And the only thing to do is, now that we're calling that, is in Discord Go, we can call into our database package to do that. So luckily the database package has no reliance on the rest of the program except for the models package, which imports nothing at all. So when we get a guild create, if it doesn't exist in there, then what we can do is we can say, all right, so if it doesn't exist, then we need to set up some new and fancy logging, or not logging, some new and fancy routing. So what we'll do is we will take that, let's see, if it's not in the store, then we need to check and double check and make sure it wasn't in the database. If it was in the database, then we need to set it off and get it going. If it wasn't in the database, then we need to add it to the database and then start processing messages for that server. So if it's not okay, we will what will we do again? So we will check the database for an existing server. Then if it's not in there, if it needs to be added, add it to the database. It needs to be added, add it to the database. And then start processing messages with this server. So this one's going to be pretty easy. So we can do server colon equals database, we'll say db dot, and of course we're not passing in database, we're just passing in a list of servers. So this is going to be a hassle. So let's go back to main.go. Then what we'll do is this database, we will just pass it into initialize DG. So we'll pass in DB in there. And of course, it's mad at me. So we'll add in DB, data store dot, no, I think it's just called DB dot data store. That's a class. That's right. Yeah. It's not a class, it's actually an interface. And then let's import that. So that's good. And then on start processing voice state update handler, guild members, guild create, we'll pass in database, which of course it's not asking for, but we can give it to it. So we'll say db pointer to, not pointer, we'll say db, and then that db will be brain fart, db dot data store. There we go. Server equals db dot new. Is this thing taking in the server configs? This is taking in full-on guild objects? We need to figure out what's going on. Where is this coming from? Let's go back to main.go. So we get all the server configs, and we called guild.new from config, and then we append them to the list of servers. This list of servers isn't actually helping all that much. But we can actually, yeah, we can do that. So we can say guild config equals db dot lookup guild, what? Oh, get server configuration, and then the guild ID will be the guild create gc.id. So that's the ID of the guild. And then it returns an error. And I think, if it doesn't exist, then that error will come back and say that it's, we'll get an error if it doesn't exist, but we're going to be checking for that error. How do we determine if it's an error because it doesn't exist or if it's like some sort of other error? We can't connect to the database, we're having a problem. So that's going to be annoying to figure out. Let's open up a, no, let's keep this closed. Let's just proceed. We'll just do a to do handle this error. Just pass this off to someone else. Later on, I'll get this, Jordy will get this, Moosieus will get this. We'll get it figured out at some point. Nothing to worry about. Let's see if it needs to be add to the database. So then we'll say the guild config equals models dot default guild config on gc.id. Oops, gc.id. Then we'll start processing the messages. So to do that, then all we really have to do is say mg dot, oh, it's mad at me. Mg dot add guild, and then it'll be guild from guild.new from config, and the guild config. Now this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it'll probably be fine. And actually we want to call guild from new config elsewhere. We'll call that up here. So we get a new pointer to guild, G. So we're going to call this server because we called it up here. It should be probably called guild. Space rename. We're going to call this guild. I think that's a little easier. Guild equals no, that's why I called it server, because you can't call it guild. If you call it guild, it's going to be having problems with the guild package. Anyway, so we'll call that on server. The reason I couldn't do this inline is because I was going to use this server afterwards, so we have to keep it in here. So we'll add the server to the list for future logging, and then we can, oh no, then we're sending off a message to it. So the next thing we have to do is going to say server dot set off server processing. Not enough arguments. Oh, we want the Discord go Dutch session. DG. DG. Is DG not? Why don't we have DG? That server takes a Discord go Dutch session. This is a function that takes a Discord go Dutch session. What's wrong with it? I guess we can just do this. Use this Discord go Dutch session. That'll work. It's probably the same one. In fact, I know it's the same one, but you know, this is probably all right. So we've got that error that we're not using. We've got a bunch of control flow stuff we need to do. So we'll just put this all into a function, call it ad hoc create guild, or ad hoc set off guild processing. Set up guild. And this will take in a db.data store. It will need a GC object. It doesn't actually need a GC object, it just needs the ID. ID string. Then it will return a server guild.guild, turn a pointer to a guild.guild, and an error. return nil. I'm not going to worry about this for now. So we're just going to copy all of this in here. So replace this with just ID. Replace this with just ID. The server is going to be new guild from config. We're into guild config. Let's just need a colon equal. mg.add. Oh, we do need the mutex guilds. DG will be the Discord Go thing, so we need that. This needs to be a pointer to Discord Go.session. And this needs to be ID. Alright, so now we have an error that we're declaring but not using. We will ignore this error for now. This error isn't doing us any good. We have the to do in there. We have this. So then we'll say server, comma, error equals ad hoc set up guild. We'll pass in mg db gc.id and dg. This is ununderstandable. Anyway, we'll use the same old error and return. Have that to do in there. This is fantastic. If error is not equal to nil, we'll do this. Server declared not used. Oh, var error dot error. There we go. So now we're using that old server. This ID needs to go back to being gc.id. Oh, none of that made any sense. I'm sorry, viewers. My apologies. There is a bunch of nonsense going on here. I wish this was like a more visual thing. But it does not matter. It says this value of server is never used. Ad hoc setup guild. Var error, server comma error. Why am I getting that? It should be using this value of server. Oh. That explains it. Had the return statement inside of where I was trying to... I didn't have the return statement scoped where it should have been. So this should theoretically work to add this bot to another server. I think there was one more thing that I had to deal with, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. I didn't write it down. I didn't tell anyone. But there was something I was going to do, and it's going to completely make this thing fail if I don't do it. It might be adding log messages. So maybe I'll do a logaroonie.info. We'll say attempting ad hoc. Let's see. We'll say ad hoc set up guild called for guild ID %s, comma, ID. There's something that I've screwed up, and I don't remember what it was. Well, I'm returning nil here, so that's no good. So that would have been a foot gun. So we need to handle that error. Get server configuration, default guild config, new from config. We add it. Oh, we need to do a so this one will say if error equals nil. So we can do this actually. Error. If the error is nil, then that means that we got a guild config. So that means we just say return guild.new from config on that guild config. And then we'll say comma nil. Cannot use guild config as models.guildconfig value an argument to guild.new from config. Yeah, that's right. So we need a pointer to it. Need the address of it. So guild config equals models.default config, and then we need to add this configuration to the server. If it doesn't have the configuration, then that means that next time the server restarts, we will have no way of getting the configs and doing anything with it, so we're better off just dying off here. So say guild config equals models.default guild config, and then we will say db.add server guild config. And this should return an error. If error is not equal to nil, return fmt.errorf unable to store new guild %s comma ID. No new variables, not enough return values. So now I wonder if this will work. Now I should probably go test all those sequels, but frankly, I don't really want to. I think it's time to just try to add this bot to another server. So we'll right quit, get status, get diff. So we've added a bunch of nonsense and a handful of things that do make sense. It's probably fine. Git add, git commit things and stuff, onboarding. Then we will git push origin main. So we'll log back into that server that we were in. And that's fantastic. We're in there. Now we need to go and wait again for our GitHub Actions to run. Things and stuff onboarding. Build Docker. It's coming along. Running the slow parts. Oh boy. Oh boy. Really don't know what to do while I'm waiting for CI to run. This is the worst thing. It's got to be one of the biggest problems in streaming. It's having a CI system that you have to wait for. There's nothing I can do. Doesn't quite take long enough that I could just say like take a break and get going on something else. I suppose now would be the time to talk to the chat, but the chat doesn't seem to be very chatty right now. Diesel called me Gustar A, but that's about it. Hello, chat. How are you doing? Is anyone even real? Let me turn off followers only. Is anyone out there? Twitch is telling me I have 25 viewers, but you all appear to be ghosts. So, Docker compose logs -f. So we got new logs going. Pretty Meets World says ghost. Hello, ghost. Ooh, the chat's a bunch of ghosts. And now that I'm thinking of it, now that I'm debugging this thing, I probably should not be... I shouldn't be in info mode. I should be in debug mode. So let's open up Docker compose YAML. Change log level to debug. And then Docker compose up, force recreate. And Docker logs, Docker compose logs. And now we got more stuff going on. So first things first, make sure we didn't break the routing that already existed. So without actually disrupting everybody else, I'm just going to go in here and made the new focus room, gave me the focus room king. Do you mean to cover the term with the stream? Have I covered the term with the stream? I've covered it with Discord. So it made the new one, gave me the proper role. When I move myself to another channel, it also gives me the proper role, Focus King 1 now. Then when I move back to my server, it deletes. So we didn't break the existing routing. So now the next thing to do is to add in a new server. So I'm a member of a bunch of servers, so I'll just add in one of my random ones. I forget where I'm listening, just partially covering the term, so I couldn't read the Docker composer changes. So that is all. Oh yeah, no, I was just covering that up. I wanted to make sure that it was working, and I wasn't even tailing the logs, so it wasn't going to change. Anyway, curl localhost :8080. Oh, couldn't connect. Docker ps docker exec -it. Actually, you know what? I think I'm building this in a Scratch container. I need to expose an endpoint here. So let's look this up. Expose endpoint docker compose. Expose compose. Where is it? Is it? Do I just say port? Where's the thing? I googled right to it, but it didn't. It's in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Expose. Expose ports without publishing them to the host machine. Oh wait, I want them published. Publish ports Docker compose. Port publishing when running with Docker compose. Fantastic. Docker compose is not public. This is not what I want. Service ports. This is such a hassle. I know how to do this. Oh, there it is. Ports 8000, 8000. So we'll say, and this is under services, focus spot. Then we'll just say ports dash 8080 : 8080. I think that's where it was on. Let's Docker compose logs and scroll all the way up, and it listens to the HTTP on 8080. All right, cool. So if I do a docker compose up, pull always, force recreate, and let's get rid of this window. Window wasn't helping anybody. Okay, so it's running again. And let's see, curl localhost colon 8080 and 404. That's fantastic because we just need the endpoint that gives us the invite link. Because I had it generate the invite link, though I don't have that much more. So github.com/mpmail/focusbot. And then that is just going to be in main.go, I think, where I have it's on /link. That would have made sense. /link. And this is where I go to add it into my server. So we will take this, add it to my test server, hit continue, hit authorize. Wait, are you human? Of course I'm human. So now it should be added into the test server, and if I run docker compose logs, it should have some stuff. New guild ID value, ad hoc setup called, starting processor, inside of get server in the right place. So now this will be wild, because this will mark an amazing moment that means I can finally use this in another server, and it didn't generate a new channel. It was supposed to generate a new channel. It didn't do it. This is disappointing. I'm devastated. When I go into my test server, what did I have in here? Do I need to delete any message in my test server? I wasn't saying anything dumb in the test server. Okay, so when I go into my test server, it didn't create a new channel, which is disappointing to say the least. I think if I follow the logs and I jump into a voice channel, it should be giving me like voice state updates, but that's it. So it says it's creating the roles, but it's not able to run the, let's check the server settings, roles. Oh no, it's not creating the roles. Am I in the wrong server? I thought I put it in the test server. Do I have another test server that I forgot about? Well, no, I don't. Of course, it's in here. Let's check the mod log. Server settings, audit log. Of course, streamer mode enabled. Let's turn streamer mode off for the audit log. Oh, no, it's the user settings. This is a hassle. Huh. So it didn't start working. Curious. So now we got to play sleuth. Got to get the big magnifying glass out, search through these logs, try to figure out what is going on that it didn't work. So we got the ad hoc setup guild called on it. One thing to do would be to check to see if that guild showed up in the database. So if we cd to stuff, and then we do SQLite 3 data store.SQLite. If we sudo apt install SQLite 3, there we are. That took a second. Let's get it going. There we are. So if we SQLite 3 datastore.sqlite, and we run .tables select star from servers. We got the new thing. Oh, this is what I was saying would break it before. Notice how there's nothing in here for the section. What I have is some code that puts it in the proper section, but if there's no section, it tries to put in a section that matches nothing, so it freaks out and dies. So I need to account for that in my code. And real quick before I do that, I want to make sure it's still working in the main chat server. So I'm just going to hop in here. And that is still working, so that's good. So if it's broken on one server, it doesn't break everywhere. So that's good. So let's open up NeoVim. Let's find... Whoa, hold on. What happened? Pretty Meets World followed me. Thanks. I appreciate it. And since you were the only one chatting, I can turn back on followers only chat like I usually keep it. Aha. Appreciate the follow. What was I doing? I was finding a file. I was finding guild.go. And then I was going to go into the create role, create next channel. Pretty Meets World. Thanks. Gotta go. Don't want to miss future streams. Thanks for joining, and thanks for the follow. We'll see you next time you show up. So anyway, so in this create next channel subroutine thing here, when we're creating the channel, what we try to do is we try to put it under the channel parent ID, which is, where does that come from? So it's a string that's passed in. Oh, I just went to the definition of string. The channel parent ID is part of that configuration. Let's go to a reference of this. Where we're calling it if should create new server.create new channel parent ID. Okay, so let's go back to that. Let's get rid of this. So we're in this create next channel. So what we need to do is say if the channel parent ID does not exist, then we create. So let's see. Guild channel create complex. Guild ID, data structure describing the new channel. Channel name and type are mandatory. Other fields depending on the type. Okay. So the topic is focus. The parent ID. That's just a string. If it comes in as an empty string, it should stay an empty string. What is the meaning of this nonsense? That if I pass an empty string, it doesn't create the channel. Now, I think that's what was going on. Maybe I misread the logs. Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. So these are all different guilds. We need to find where I was entering that other guild. There we go. This is that other guild. So we're starting the processing. We get inside of get server in the right place. Discord calls something. Guild members chunk event is fired. Guild members chunk is requested. It got a guild ID something. Okay, true. Got it. Guild voice state event fired. Guild voice state handler func requested lookup locking. Got guild ID. So this is all from Discord Go. Routed voice state update to, that's the other one. I want the 7.9 whatever. Guild voice state update fired for 7.9 whatever. And then we got another guild voice state update from 7.5, 7.9 whatever. So it's not, doesn't make it all the way through. So what could have caused this? So we're getting a guild members chunk for 7.9 whatever. and then it dies. So inside its server, get server in the right place, and then it stops running. I think I know what it is. I think I got sloppy and I was initializing things in the wrong place. Let's Control C. I think I know exactly what's happening. In my main.go, when I set up servers, I get their configs, and then I call guild.new from config, and that actually creates these things. I'm using the same function. Never mind, that doesn't do what I thought it did. This is quite the conundrum. I was thinking that I was in internal /guild/guild.go. I was thinking, oh, I was already there. I was thinking that I got caught up here someplace. Oh, this is very interesting. So it should get the first one. Server initialized should be false. Let me create it from a configuration. So it should wait for it to get the guild members chan, which it should be doing. When I call get server in the right place, So I call set off server processing, which will call get server in the right place, which will wait for a guild chan. So we get the get server inside of get server in the right place call, and then we never get the looping through voice states call. This is curious. Let's see. So it's the 7 whatever. Did I restart this? Did this restart for some reason? I feel like I'm missing that ad hoc call. Oh, I see. So it's just... Okay. So it's closing listening channel, reconnecting. Okay, that's fine. That's no problem. Voice state event for 155. Guild ID value true, routed voice state. Interesting. So let's get back to the logs. There we go. So we got set up ad hoc guild for 7918 whatever. And then we start the processing for it. And then we are inside of get server state in the right place. Then the guild members chunk event fires, which is fine. So that means it got past here. And then I guess it's waiting on the guild chan. Server.guild chan. So once it gets there, guild members chunk, got guild ID value. So this is from, who is this from? This is from us. Looking up guild, look up guild members check function, got value of whatever. And this is on 11 whatever. It's on 11 whatever. It's on 11 whatever. So I'm trying to figure out what happened here. I think it's just waiting on server.guildchan because we're not getting a successful... We're not getting a routed voice state update to the proper guild process. Oh. routed voice state. Yeah, so we're not routing the voice state for the 7-something guild. So it should be waiting on its guild channel right here, which is fine. So in discord.go, it should be sending on the voice channel inside of the guild member or guild create. Let's see, inside of the guild create. So it should just be waiting until this can listen and pick it up. And then we'll see the routed guild create to guild process. Why is this not working? Now we're not getting an unable to route voice state update. And we're not getting a routed guild create. So it is pausing on that. Huh. That is very confusing. And I think this is a big enough problem that I will wait until next time to do it. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thanks, everyone, for sticking by this long. I think it is time that I complete this stream. Tomorrow, Friday, I will be doing resume review right back here at 8 o'clock p.m. If you have a resume, jump into the Discord, and you can get it reviewed live on stream by me and Moosieus. I'll catch you all on the flip. Adios. Oh, and I didn't go to my stream ending screen. I'll catch you all on the flip. Adios.